Hi, it's Karen. In today's video, I thought I would show you how I made these cute little watercolor bumblebees. It's quite simple, and you won't need to sketch anything or draw anything. The only thing you will need are 4 colors of paints, a yellow, an orange, a brown, and a black. And I will list the colors I picked in the description. And then to add some of the white highlights on the eye, I just used one of these white pens, the Buutiiger white gel pen, just for the tiny little details. And then for brushes, you don't need anything large for this. This is just a practice piece, so we'll just make a few of these. So I just have a selection of round brushes. I have a medium-sized brush. This is a fusion brush by Yasutomo. And then I have my Princeton brush, long round, number 2. And then this is a little detail Da Vinci Cosmotop Spin in size 1. And this will be like just for the eye and maybe some of the smaller detail. And then a piece of watercolor paper. I'm just going to use the bee paper that I like to practice on. And your usual towel or paper towel and 2 jugs of water. And that's it. Let's get going. If you need help figuring out what native bumblebees are in your region, you can go to the Bumblebee Atlas online and search by region. And you can get some really good illustrations of what your bees look like. Okay, so to make our overall bee shape, we're actually going to use our thumbprint. So I've got just a puddle of yellow paint here, and I'm going to get my thumb. I'm going to dip it in my clear water and get my thumb wet, and I'm going to put it in the yellow paint, and I'm just going to do a thumbprint to get the basic shape of the bee. Okay, I'm going to add the orange stripe that it has, and the black tail, and it has a black face, and then it has like just kind of some black splotches here and there. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to use kind of this long round in just clear water, and I'm just going to pull kind of a mixture of all these colors out to make kind of a delicate wing. And I'm just going to try to use some clear water and blend this out so it's not too bold. And then I'm just going to kind of pull like a second one, just like that's kind of indicating that there's a second wing there. We're not going to draw the whole second wing, if you can see that. Focus. Oh, seriously, focus. There you go. There it is. Okay, so we'll let that one dry. And then maybe if it helps you, turn your paper around so you've got a bee going a different direction. Get your thumb wet again. Get some wet yellow paint. Do your thumbprint. And that'll be a nice fat bee. And so I am going to have it going this direction. So put Put the orange, put the black. Just kind of around the edges. I'm just going to drop some clear water in here to kind of blend this out a little. And there go my dogs barking as usual. And I'm going to make this so we're looking down on it, like that one. So do the same, just take water and blend that out, and then take more water. Okay, like that. And then do the other side. So you're not adding any new paint, you're just kind of using what's already there. And I have to go see what my dogs are barking at. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. They were barking at coyotes, so the coyotes are out there howling. All right, so let's do, let me show you one more thing. I also was playing with using a sponge. So I cut the sponge into kind of a bumblebee shape because I wanted to see how that would work. So I just got the sponge wet, and I'm going to dip it in both colors, the orange and the yellow, and we will see what kind of bee we can make with that. So add a little more yellow to that. And I like how loose this one is because it was wetter than the thumbprint one. So this one has a lot of character, I think. So we'll do the same thing. Just take a clear water brush and make sure it's really wet, and we'll pull out some color, and then get some just clear water, kind of blend that out a little bit, and then we'll pull I just added a little black to that. All right, so that one looks good too. I'm going to go back to this fat one here and add a little more color because it dried much lighter. So we'll add and we'll darken up the black a little bit. Okay, and this one up here is fine. Okay, so let's dry these and then we will add the details. I'll be right back. Okay. So grab a small detail brush and some black paint, and we'll go ahead and add the little antenna. And they have kind of these really cute stubby little antenna for the most part. So we will add those coming out of the front of the head. And then for the legs. They have 3 legs, and they're like segmented legs, and the back one is longer than the front 2. So you can see some of them look good and some of them look wonky, but that's okay. So we'll use some brown to kind of start the leg segment, and just kind of put 3 dots there, and then take your black and keep it loose, and we'll just do 1 leg, 2 legs, 3 legs, and they kind of have like little feet, so kind of like that. And then on the ones that are like this, let's see, how did I do it? I did it two towards the head, and then 1 showing behind the wings, just so you could fit them all in there. So we'll do 2, and then like 1 back there. Okay. All right, we have 3 bees. And now we need to add the little eyeball. So just take some black and your detail brush and create a kind of oval eye. For the side view. Okay, and then we'll create 1 on each side for the top view. Okay. That's kind of funny. Okay. All right, we'll try that. I'll be right back. Okay, now you're going to grab your little white pen, and we're going to add some details to, how am I going to do this? Let me lower this camera. Hang on 1 second. Okay, now we need to add the white to the eyes. So use your white gel pen, whatever you're using, a Posca pen, or I'm using the Buutiiger pen, and add a little, well, you have to get it started first. Again, these white pens are a pain. So you add a little white in the eye, and then to define the eye, I just did like a little white around the eyeball itself. So we'll do white shine in the eye, and then a little, don't outline it, just kind of do some rough white marks. Almost like it's hair, you know. Okay. Oh, that one turned out really cute. Okay. So the last thing that I did on mine was I actually took one of these texture, what are these called? Filbert Grainer brushes. See, it's got the little, it's good for like making fur. And so I just kind of went through mine and added some, my paint's dried, and just added some like texture marks, because bees are fuzzy. dried. Okay. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Some fuzzy, hairy bee marks. So if you don't have a brush like this, you could just use a tiny detail brush and just add a few strokes here and there, just to kind of show that it's a furry bee. And then you could add some black hairs to the back of it too. There we go. Look how cute they are. They turned out really cute. I think that's my favorite. I like that one a lot. But they'll all be different, and it's just practice. So you could work these into a flower painting. And I could definitely think about a composition using the bee if that's something somebody wants to see at some point. I'm sure as spring moves on, I will be painting more bees and flowers. So there are bees. I hope that you like your bees and keep trying. If you don't like what you've done, just keep practicing and have some patience. And have a great spring. I'll talk to you later. Bye.